The Tibetan monk Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche got dubbed the happiest man in the world by scientists after they scanned his brain during meditation. He had the highest level of gamma waves ever recorded in the brain worldwide. Gamma waves are associated with happiness, attention, and learning. At that point, he had meditated for a total of 62,000 hours in his life. The author Jay Shetty lived in an ashram in India for 3 years, discovering the secrets behind why monks seem to be the most fulfilled humans on this earth, before moving back to London to live a traditional life. In Think Like a Monk, he teaches us how we can benefit in the modern world from the way monks think and live without having to give up our whole lives and move to an ashram. This is Detox Dan presenting the top 5 takeaways of Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. Takeaway number 1. Live your Dharma. Dharma is Sanskrit, and it roughly translates to your calling. This is what you, with your unique set of skills and personality traits, were meant to do on this planet. To figure out what your Dharma is, you must let go of other people's opinions and expectations. Only then can we hear our own inner voice and let it guide us. We also need to grant ourselves time to figure it out, and not buy into the illusion that we need to accomplish everything in life fast. Viewing 24-year-old Snapchat billionaires on social media as the norm is only hurtful to our success. A useful formula to follow is passion plus expertise plus usefulness equals Dharma. This idea suggests that we should play into our strengths. Although Jay admits that doing things outside our competence and passion might be great for character building, ultimately we will have a greater impact doing what we are naturally inclined to. You can find hints of what that is by looking to your past, preferably so far back in time that you weren't influenced by other people yet. You can also ask your friends and family about when they feel like you are at your best. For something to be your Dharma, it also needs to help other people in the end. It doesn't mean that you have to have a huge impact today, but eventually what you see as your life goal needs to be of use for others somewhere down the line. There is another concept called quadrants of potential that can be helpful to visualize when trying to structure your life around your Dharma. Most of us spend time in either skill but no passion, or no skill but passion. If you are stuck at a place of no passion, it is up to you to try to do something different or even better. Figure out a way to weave in your passion in what you are currently doing. When Jay was stuck at a consulting job he didn't particularly enjoy, he asked if he could hold some mindfulness classes at work. The class he gave was popular enough that he got invited to give more speeches, and he never looked back from there. Takeaway number 2. Face your fears. Fear does not prevent death. It prevents life. The Buddha. Fear and other negative emotions is something we must learn to control and let go of. Anxiety and fear disconnects us from our abilities, often when we need them the most. There's an ancient story about a very talented archer in the Bhagavad Gita who freezes completely in the battlefield due to fear. But he doesn't run from the emotion. He faces it. Through reflection and understanding, he comes to terms with his fear and is able to fight like a brave warrior. The Roman philosopher Seneca said, "Our fears are more numerous than our dangers, and we suffer more in our imagination than reality." The cure for this kind of unnecessary fear is detachment. Monks like to think that everything in life is borrowed for the short period of time we have on this planet. Therefore, clinging too tightly to things creates fear for no good reason. When you are aware that everything you have is yours for a limited time, it is easier to stay present and truly enjoy them. Most of the fears we have are so-called branch fears. These are usually shallow fears that disguise the true cause of what we are actually scared of. We might think that we are afraid of losing our job, for example, when the root cause of our fear is that we are scared to disappoint our parents. To investigate this, we need to observe our fears and gently keep asking ourselves what we are actually afraid of. If you dare to sit with this question long enough with curiosity, your mind will eventually tell you. This can be extremely uncomfortable. But if we want to get to the root of our fears, this is the only way. Once we have the answers, we need to observe them with as much acceptance as we can, and the fears will eventually dissolve. Takeaway number 3. Plant seeds, eliminate weeds. One way to think like a monk is to picture your mind like a beautiful garden. In this analogy, seeds and weeds represent the intentions behind your actions in life. Seeds are actions coming from service, compassion, and love. When you plant a seed, it will eventually grow into a wonderful tree that bears fruit for you and others. Weeds are actions inspired by greed, envy, and stress. Although they might look similar in the early stages of growth, they will never grow into something of value. Going to the gym, for example, can be either a seed or a weed. If you go there to improve your health, it is a seed. But if you want to seek revenge on your ex by getting incredible abs, it is a weed. In both cases, you might become stronger and fitter, but you won't feel good internally in the latter one. A seed you could plant instead would be to sit with your emotions and try to get to the root of why you feel like you need to get back at him or her. Like a seasoned gardener, we must always pay close attention to our garden. Trees and flowers can't thrive on their own. We must patiently water them and remove the unwanted vegetation, day in and day out. How well we do this depends on our habits and daily routines and our attitude towards them. Everything you do in life is part of your spiritual journey, even the most mundane tasks. It all comes down to how consciously you do them. Takeaway number 4. Build confidence, not ego. For maximum growth, we need to build confidence, but not ego. Ego is the facade we all carry more or less that likes to impress others and pretend it knows it all. This facade costs a lot of energy to uphold. Energy that could instead have been invested in the hard work and practice required to build real confidence. The cure for ego is humility, which includes seeing your weaknesses clearly and admitting that you have more to learn. A healthy self-esteem lets you accept yourself as humble and forever striving, yet it has no fear of failure. Once there is no ego involved, failure is nothing but a great lesson to learn from. True self-esteem also doesn't let huge successes go to your head. You should always be grateful when you get rewarded and remind yourself of the sacrifice behind it. But in victory, do like the Romans used to do, remind yourself that you are still nothing but a mortal man. If you are struggling with building confidence, the easiest strategy is to accumulate some small wins. Make a list of tiny things you could do that would improve any area of your life. Once the list is made, check the items off one by one and see how you feel. Takeaway number 5. Daily meditation. There is no better way to gain control of your mind, the key feature to accomplish what I have presented in the earlier takeaways, than through meditation. The easiest and most basic form of meditation is to focus on the breath. Breathing is the first thing monks learn to do properly. One monk explained it like this, quote, "The one constant through your life is breath. All your friends, your family, the country you live in, all of that can change. Breath is with you always." Unquote. One meditation described in the book is to breathe in deeply through your nose counting to 4, then exhaling gently through your mouth also counting to 4, then repeat. Preferably you should be in a comfortable position with your eyes closed and try to focus on calm, stillness and peace. Whenever you feel your attention drift away from your breathing, just slowly guide your attention back towards your inhales and exhales. Drifting away is a natural part of the process, and it is supposed to be hard at first. But with practice, your attention will remain intact for longer periods, and you will start to reap the benefits. That was it for my top 5 takeaways of Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.